In this video, I want to teach you how to master your starts on your dirt bike. What's up guys, I'm Dakota Freeman and welcome to the Rad Adventure Dude channel. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you hit that and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. The starts are really going to be the most important part of any race, and this is why it's so important to master your starts. So when we're learning how to master our starts, we need to go through a few different controls. Whenever we're starting the dirt bike, we're always going to be using our clutch, our throttle, and our gear shifter. But however, when we're learning how to master our starts, we're going to add in how to use our front brake with the rest of these controls. The reason we want to add in the front brake when learning how to use the rest of these controls is because now we're going to actually be able to use the point of motion and the front brake to load the front end up, which means we're putting all the power and weight to even drive the front of the bike down to the ground. Once we do this, we can now let the clutch out fast, just like a pro, and really be able to get accelerating down the straightaway. This is going to be huge whenever we're racing on our dirt bikes or just wanting to learn how to do our starts the best way possible. So whenever we're learning this, it's going to be important that we already know how to use our clutch and to shift through our gears. Now what we're going to do is do the same steps we were doing before when learning how to shift our gears, except once we hit the point of motion on our dirt bike and you feel the bike actually wanting to roll, you're actually going to pull the front brake in and apply a little bit of throttle. It's going to be difficult to use your right hand in this kind of way because you're going to have to actually pull the clutch in while giving it a little bit of throttle. But simply practice this over time, and this part of using both these controls with one hand is going to get much easier. As we hit the point of motion on our dirt bikes and then pull the front brake in and continue putting on a little bit of throttle in that point of motion, you're going to feel the front end of the dirt bike actually get driven to the ground. Compressing your front end in this kind of way is how we master our starts on our dirt bike. This is because when we let the clutch out now and the front brake off, having the front end pushed to the ground like this is going to keep it from wanting to wheelie as you're really accelerating hard off the start. So being able to let the clutch out to that point of motion, pull in our front brake, and then apply throttle and actually drive your front end and compress your front forks before you let the front brake off and then the clutch out. This way you can really get accelerating much faster on your dirt bike. The next part that we need to discuss whenever we're doing this is what do we do with our body? Our body needs to be as far forward on the dirt bike as we can possibly get it. We need to sit on top of the gas cap. You heard me, not on the front of the seat. You need to be sitting on the gas cap. This is going to be very important to making sure you have as much weight as far forward on the dirt bike as you can possibly have it. So our elbows should be up and our head shouldn't be straight above our body at this point. We even want to lean with our upper body over the front end of the motorcycle. This way we're going to be sitting on the gas cap. Our upper body is actually leaning over the handlebars. Our elbows are up using all the controls, and we are practicing driving that front end to the ground with that front brake pulled in. This is a lot going on, and this is really what you have to do to master your starts on your dirt bike. So learn this over time, as it's a lot going on. We should already know how to use the clutch and the gears to shift correctly, but now applying the front brake when we do this is going to make it a little tougher. So practice this part until you can really get the front end driving to the ground, and then learn how to release all these at one time to actually get the bike accelerating the fastest way possible. So now we know how to use the clutch, the throttle, and the front brake to actually drive and compress our front end on our dirt bikes. We now know exactly where to be sitting when we're trying to master our starts like this and how to get our weight as far forward as possible. And this is really what's going to help you learn how to master your starts on your dirt bike. If this video is already helping you master your starts, well, make sure you like this video and drop some comments down below and ask me any other questions that you have. So now that we know how to master our starts from the beginning, what do we do once we actually let all these controls out and get rolling down the straightaway? It is so important that we get up out of first gear or second gear and get into these higher gears quickly on our dirt bikes. So now as we release this on the start, we're actually going to start shifting up as soon as we possibly can. We need to at least get into third gear before the first 10 feet off the start. This is because these higher gears have a ton more top speed, and this is how we get bike lengths ahead on the start. If we come out of the gate in first gear and we hold that gear for a long period of time, we're actually going to run out of top speed, and then all the other bikes are going to go past you. We need to come out of the start gate and immediately shift up. A lot of really good dirt bike riders will do this before they even get their feet back on the pegs. When you're starting the dirt bike in this kind of way, just like these other pro riders, you need to be able to shift up before you even get your feet on the pegs. This way, whenever you're on that straightaway accelerating, you're already in a higher gear, getting more top speed than the rest of the riders around you. This is going to be crucial to actually getting through your gears faster when you're going down this straightaway. And the faster you can get into these higher gears with the proper RPM level is really going to make you much faster than any of the other riders around you. So this is going to be difficult, and it's going to have to be learned over time. We need to be so comfortable with our clutch and how to use the rest of our controls before we do this to where we don't have to think about them as much. We need to already know all the points of motion on the clutch. We need to know how much throttle we're going to be giving it, and we really need to know how to shift up through the gears as fast as possible. So practice all these things that's going on in this, and this is truly what you have to do to master your starts. When we're trying to master our starts like this, there's going to be a lot going on, and we're going to feel a lot of pressure on us as well. Especially when you're sitting on a line with 40 other riders next to you, this will really get that pressure built on your shoulders. So knowing this and knowing that all those riders are going into the same first turn at the same time and they all want to be first, this is why it's very important that we learn how to master our starts and we learn how to compress the front end. We learn how to let the clutch out, accelerate the fastest off the gate. Then we need to shift up before we even get our feet on the pegs, and after that, we're going to need to keep shifting up to get into higher gears and really get the best top speed driving down that straightaway. I am so proud of you for actually putting this time in and really wanting to master your starts on your dirt bike. This is going to be a very difficult part and not the most fun to practice, but I guarantee you instilling these techniques into your riding is going to make you a much better dirt bike rider. If you're still looking for more dirt bike riding tips, I'm always here. I've made a full dirt bike riding course over on my website that's going to walk you through being a complete beginner and take you to an advanced rider mastering the tracks and trails. I really feel this dirt bike course is going to really accelerate your dirt bike riding, so make sure you check it out today. Plus, you can find all my rad merch over on my website as well. If this video helped you master your starts on your dirt bike, make sure you like this video and drop some comments down below and ask me any other questions that you have. Make sure you hit the subscribe button that's right here and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future dirt bike riding tips. After that, you can watch my next video on how to master your cornering right here. Stay rad, and I'll see you guys over there.